Hello there and welcome back. Welcome back to my subscribers. Thank you so much. And welcome back to those of you who are new. Please feel free to click the subscribe button. So we see the women are all decked out and ready for a meeting in the ladies' lounge with Nephew Tommy. They're looking good. They're all bronzed up, wearing their Move Something dresses. So back in the lounge, Nephew Tommy says, "And welcome to the Great Eight. We are more than halfway through this process. Ladies, your next assignment is to introduce your top fella to the closest friends to see if they think you're compatible and you speak the same love language." So fast forward to Top Golf and Zadia's friend Stacy, the guy, India, the lady, are introduced to Naeem, her top guy. And Naeem, who thoughtfully bought a bouquet of a dozen white roses for Zadia, he greets her with a warm hug. Back at Sabrina's place with her Fab Five friends, Walter is introduced to each and every one of the five. He seems poised, but is a little surprised that there's so many of them. When Walter is asked by one of Sabrina's girlfriends what brought him to the DMV area, he says that he was offered a full scholarship to Morgan State. When asked in what, he replies electrical engineering. And you can hear the oohs and the ahs from the ladies. Walter is humorous and chill and laid back. That seems to go over well with the Fab Five. And back across town, Naeem explains why at 40 he's still single. He says it's because he's been unlucky in love. He wants a woman who is kind, intelligent, and enjoys staying fit. Back over at Sabrina's, Walter says he isn't into anyone else like he is Sabrina. Hmm. Walter leaves, and Sabrina's friends say that he's made a good impression. They like him. He seems honest. Across town, Naeem has also passed specs with Zadia's two friends in their interrogation. They feel as though Naeem is authentic, cool, and they notice that they both have chemistry. He seems into Zadia. Back at Sabrina's, Sean is about to be interrogated next by the Fab Five. Sean doesn't seem to be prepared. He gets there thinking that he's going to play cards with Sabrina, play spades or something, but that's not really what's going on. Sean, please try to keep up. I don't know if Sabrina prepped him at all, though, to be fair. The game changer is that Sabrina shares with the Fab Five that Sean has mentioned not wanting to hurt her and that down the road in a couple of months, things could change, which really set the tone for the meeting with Sean. As soon as Sean hits the door, the friends are on him like white on rice. They want clarification on his comments regarding the possible issues in a few months. Sean tries to explain that the reason why he is unsure is because he wants children, and Sabrina has decided that with an 8-year-old, she doesn't want to start all over again. So, what I'm trying to figure out is, Sean, why are you even there with Sabrina? If you know she doesn't want to have any more children, perhaps she's not the one that you really want to pursue. She told you that she wasn't interested in having any more kids, period. That, sir, is a non negotiable. The lone male Fab Fiver says, "I feel like he's going to stifle your movement, Sabrina." Well, Sabrina does jump in and try to explain that they've only had one date, really, and maybe they're just not on the same page about wanting children. So, what's the point? Camille and her besties meet at a restaurant. Her friends are interrogating her first. She explains that her boo, Cornelius, believes in no sex before marriage. Apparently, Camille isn't known for being celibate. So her friends asked her, "Are you okay with this?" And in her confessional, she says she's very concerned because um, she doesn't want it to be a problem if it's little on their wedding day. Now, is it just me, or did all of Camille's friends, including the brother, look like they could have socked Cornelius up with a biscuit? I don't know. You know what to do. Write it down in the comments section because brother man Carlos was really checking Cornelius out. So Carlos asked Cornelius if he's in love with Camille, and Cornelius says, "I'm crazy about her. I just love her personality." When asked, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" Cornelius goes on to explain that he hopes to be married by then. He also tells them that he's never cheated on anyone, and that he's also never been a guy to really play the field. He's kind of a monogamous type guy. Cornelius does an excellent job, and then he asks them, "Well, what do you feel are the reasons why Camille wasn't ready before to be married?" Carlos, of course, jumps in, being the chatty Cathy, and says he thinks that she's had commitment issues, she's been engaged several times before, and she's sort of like a runaway bride, never made it down the aisle. So, to be honest, her friends and we're skeptical how this is going to be any different. Cornelius, in his confessional, says, "I don't know. This seems like something I might need to watch out for in the future." Now, Cornelius has left the group, and all of Camille's friends agree that Cornelius seems like a very nice guy. Her girlfriends are worried that maybe he's too nice. Apparently, Camille has a reputation for getting bored in relationships and walking all over men, which we know that to be true because we remember how she cussed him out um, at the mixer in the swimming pool. She says she's tired of running. She's tired now of running and jumping from man to man, and she wants everyone to know that if it's not Cornelius, it's no one. Now we meet up with Sydney on her date, and she's in a swanky rooftop restaurant with Frank. And at the same time, across town, Moomin's friends, Robin, who was married for 24 years, meet Danta. Back on the rooftop, Frank is explaining to Sydney's friends that his last relationship ended because they were in different seasons of their lives. Over with Moomin, Dante explains that he has 3 kids with 3 different mothers. Moomin shares in her confessional that she's into children's ministry. Okay, not sure if that has anything to do with you wanting to have a relationship with a man with 3 children with 3 different mothers, but you like it, I love it. Now Walter enters for Moomin, and he looks a little bit surprised to see that Danta is there. I don't know if production is being shady. You know where to drop your comments down in the comment section below, but I suspect that they are. We get back to Sydney and her friends, and Frank and Sydney are really heavy with the PDAs. They're touching, they're caressing. I don't know. Maybe again, it's just me, but I felt like that was a little bit much for the date where you go to introduce your boo to your friends. But that's cool because Sydney seems to really love it. And she says touch is definitely her love language. And we know that hypersexual Frank, it is definitely his. Over at Moomin's interview, Walter seems uncomfortable and fidgety, while Dante, who is seated next to Moomin, grabs her hand before he heads out to make room for Walter's interview. Walter lets Moomin's friends know that he's still collecting data on Moomin, and clearly she is also undecided between he and Dante. Fade over to Sydney on the rooftop in Georgetown, and Sydney and Frank has left, and Sydney's friends admit that she and Frank appear to have chemistry galore. Now, moving on to Phil. Phil has been invited to three, count them, not one, not two, but three different dates. So Aisha invited Phil to meet her friends. Tasia invited Phil to meet her friends. And Shiloh, who seems to be Phil's top choice, invited Phil to meet hers. We find out that Phil is from Queens, New York, and he's really open doing all of these three interviews, but he does hold his card close to the vest as to who his top priority is from everybody. I think that his number one pick is Shiloh. Shiloh admits that she's a little bit smitten with him. Now, back at the ladies' lounge, because the women are about to eliminate one of the guys, Tommy checks in on the women and their dates. Sydney says that her connection with Frank is good. She really, really likes him. Sabrina said that Walter did well, but while he did well, Sean failed miserably. Tasia's date with Phil went well. Shiloh's date with Phil went well. And of course, Aisha's date with Phil went well. Cornelius and Sean now are on the chopping block. We see Cornelius meet up with Zadia, and he claims that he finds her very attractive, but yet he's never pursued her. And he says that's probably because Zadia and Camille are friends. He admits that he's had Zadia on his list along with Camille, but he's really afraid of what Camille might do. Sean is on a date with Tasia, who is asking him lots of questions, like she could be seriously a prosecutor. She tells Sean that he hasn't been present in the process. It's almost as if he just gave up. Well, he explains to her that he didn't like being interrogated by Sabrina's friends, and they didn't seem to understand that he's only been on one date with her. Meanwhile, Zadia gives Cornelius a warning that he still has a chance to love. But back over with Sean and Tasia, the one or two bill player, he is not ready to love. His process ended tonight. Let me know, which lady do you think will be dismissed next week? Will it be Camille? Will it be Sydney? Who do you think will be next week? Thank you for listening, for being on my broadcast, on my channel. I hope that you will like this video, comment down in the section below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. See you real soon.